Hopedale, a city upon a hill, founded on principles of radical Christian love, famously visited by abolitionists and social justice crusaders, now sees itself at a crossroads of identity. In the schools of Hopedale, students are taught the history of the town, a utopia of the 1800s and the leading industrial power in the Blackstone Valley during the 1900s. The local Draper Corporation gained renown as the leading producer of a subpart of a loom, leading to the industrial boom. Our baseball fields bear the name of capitalists, while our streets carry on the values of freedom and progress. Hopedale began as a Christian utopia founded by Reverend Adin Ballou in 1842. Ballou, and therefore his community, supported abolitionism, temperance, pacifism, and women's rights, all of those with a distinct focus on equality. The Hopedale Communalist Society stemmed in part from the regulation of property. The scholar Thomas Stone describes the function of property in Hopedale as, quote, an instrument of cultural management, unquote. Collective control of land was central to the community. However, the period of communal control of property saw the town of Hopedale fall into debt and financial hardship. George and Ebenezer Draper, two powerful members of the community, eventually owned approximately 75% of the communal shares and transitioned Hopedale from utopian to industrial. The Bancroft Memorial Library embodies this intersection, as it is a public library founded by a philanthropist in an elite and expensive Romanesque style. Many Hopedale buildings created contemporarily to the library are also due to philanthropy, representing a shift from the communalist vision of Ballou's town. The benefactor of this building, Joseph Bouvier Bancroft, worked in the Draper Corporation as vice president. The Bancroft Memorial Library exhibits many aspects of the Romanesque style. The cross-hipped roof draws focus towards the street-facing entrance and the southeast lawn, which houses the Statue of Hope. The repeated use of arches, one over the main entrance, multiple over windows, all reflect the Romanesque influence. The common usage of up-facing square stones in Romanesque-style buildings is also evident, as seen through the usage of rustic granite in the Bancroft Library. Much of the granite is likely from the neighboring town of Milford. However, the use of Milford granite is not the only parallel between Hopedale's library and the famous Boston Public Library. Much like the stone engravements in the Boston Public Library denoting its function, the Bancroft Memorial Library sees its name and function engraved into the stone. The interior of the library reflects a Gothic or medieval church, defined by oaken arch trusses cascading across the tall ceilings of the library. This parallels the aesthetics of a modest Protestant church, a familiar sight to the residents of Hopedale. The reading room contains a wood-carved fireplace among chairs, books, and tables, establishing the library as both intellectual but homey. While not reflecting the function in the same way as the contemporary Beaux-Arts architectural style does, the Bancroft Memorial Library does establish its place within the deeply Protestant and newly industrial town through its architectural influences. The Statue of Hope on the southeast facade reflects Hopedale's state of transition at the time of construction. As stated in the Bancroft Memorial Library's National Register of Historic Places registration form, quote, the construction of Bancroft Memorial Library and the installation of the Statue of Hope fountain reflects the civic beautification campaign underway in Hopedale at the turn of the 20th century, unquote. The fountain, shipped from Rome in 1904, not only reflects the hopeful utopian past of the town, but also a new hope for the town's then industrial future. Until the demolition of the Draper Mill in 2021, the Bancroft Library and Statue of Hope lived in the shadow of the industrial Draper Mill and in the eye line of a statue of Hopedale's founder, Adin Ballou. The library was caught between the utopian past and the industrial future. However, Hopedale now finds itself at another crossroads of identity, with the recent destruction of the Draper Mill its most prominent landmark. The Bancroft Memorial Library can now not only act as a public intellectual center, but also as a lens into a familiar moment of change in the small town's history.